Musk refused to help Ukraine after he was insulted there. Elon Musk refused to pay the Kyiv regime for the services of the Starlink network after the odious Ukrainian diplomat Melnik swore at him. The entrepreneur wrote about this on Twitter. Other users of the social network note that Ukrainians have repaid Black in gratitude for the help provided. Zelensky is trying to draw the United States into a nuclear standoff with Russia, Fox News columnist Tucker Carlson said. In addition, the journalist is outraged that the Ukrainian president is begging billions of dollars to escalate the conflict. The risks of economic war are already sky-high even for the United States, writes WP. According to the author of the article, Biden should declare that he uses the dollar as a weapon purely because of the unprecedented challenge to Russia. And give my word of honor that he will not act like this against other countries. Otherwise, the American currency is finished. Ukraine is asking for more weapons, but the EU's cash reserves are running out. The EU Compensation Fund is no longer able to reimburse countries for the costs of supplying weapons to Ukraine, Politico reports. While the members of the association are fighting with each other for money, Kyiv continues to ask for help. The reputation of the European Union as a reliable ally is under threat. The results of the polls were striking. Zelensky must come to an agreement with Putin. According to a recent survey, 60% of Italians believe that Ukraine should agree to peace talks with Russia, writes Nicola Poro Portal. According to the author of the article, this is an amazing result, given how the conflict is portrayed in the West. Erdogan made a loud anti-Western statement. At the summit in Astana, Erdogan again voiced the slogan "The world is more than five," Sabah reports. He also noted that the global security architecture should be formed in a fairer way, because now the system protects the interests of countries that can be counted on the fingers of one hand. Lukashenko accused the West of unleashing the Third World War. At the Astana summit, Putin attacked the West, Al Jazeera reports. He accused the United States and Europe of neocolonialism and exploitation of developing countries. And Lukashenko noted that the West's practice of organizing coups in other countries brings the Third World War closer. These countries are sitting on an ocean of gas. But Europe won't get it. Despite the huge gas reserves in the Middle East, the countries of the region cannot supply it to Europe in large volumes, writes The Economist. This is due to a number of reasons, including the lack of export infrastructure and the growth of domestic demand. The EU filled the gas storage facilities and relaxed. Ukraine will pay for this mistake. European politicians need to stop behaving as if the energy crisis is a problem for 1 year, writes The Economist. Next winter, the region may face even bigger problems that will undermine Ukraine's support. The analysts were wrong. The Russian economy has successfully survived the sanctions. The Russian economy has shown excellent resistance to Western sanctions, writes Ashark al-Assad. Putin said that the worst is over. Of course, not all economic issues have been resolved yet, but thanks to energy, Moscow will overcome any obstacles. Unlike Europe, the main enemy of the US armed forces is not Russia or China. An American military expert claims that there is a monstrous shortage of personnel in the US Army. 77% of recruits are unfit for military service. And contract soldiers are fleeing from military units. This threatens the security of the country. NATO to conduct routine nuclear exercises near Russia's borders. In the near future, NATO will hold long-planned routine exercises with the participation of nuclear forces, Jovan writes. The West accuses Russia of irresponsible steps that will allegedly lead to Armageddon. And he himself escalates the situation by conducting maneuvers. It seems that the illogic in the US statements is becoming too obvious. The dollar doesn't have long left. And the United States is to blame for this. The time of the dollar as the world's reserve currency is long gone, writes Asia Times. Given the size of the US national debt, he can't stand it. The main threat to the US currency comes from Asia, the author of the article notes. Russia will checkmate Ukraine this winter. Kirill Stermusov, deputy head of the administration of the Kherson region, said that this winter the Kyiv authorities, despite the support of the West, will be checkmated. We once again remind all those who live on the territory of Ukraine today, thinking about the victory of the Ukrovermont. I will say objectively, it's impossible. In the near future, Russia will checkmate the whole system, and this will already take place this winter, Stermusov said in his Telegram channel. According to him, Ukraine is completely dependent on the West, when Russia's capabilities are virtually limitless. Russia launched a special military operation in Ukraine on February 24. President Vladimir Putin called its goal the protection of people who had been subjected to bullying and genocide by the Kyiv regime for 8 years. To do this, according to him, it is planned to carry out the demilitarization and denazification of Ukraine, to bring to trial all war criminals responsible for bloody crimes against civilians of Donbass.